have you been one of those persons who, experienced Hurricane Beryl and perhaps may have been without electricity, or perhaps you are still without electricity? I mean, like 3 weeks after Hurricane Beryl. There's nothing, pretty about such a situation. In this video, I'm going to be talking about, how you go about purchasing a generator. And I was really prompted to do this video because I, was out there looking at generators, but guess what? Didn't know what exactly to look for. And I remember, even, prior to going out there, I called I called a number of places. One place in particular, the sales rep I spoke with was just clueless. Didn't know how to advise me as to, what to look for. So I went and I did my own research, and I said, let me just share this information with the general public. So in case you're thinking about purchasing a generator, we were warned that this hurricane season is going to be a pretty much active one. And, given what you would have seen in the form of Hurricane Beryl, we should all be putting in place contingencies, that should we have a recurrence, and, we hope and pray that, it doesn't come to pass. But should there be another one, that will be much more prepared then. So that is what this video is going to be about. But guess what? Before we jump into the video, I'm going to invite you to hit that subscription button if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel. Really looking to get the numbers up. Really want to get the subscription up to 1,000 subscribers. So help me. I can only do that with your help. Please hit that subscription button. Hit the notification bell also, so that when I upload new videos, you'll be automatically notified. Hit the like button also. As you go through, you get value from the video. Like the video and also share the video. All right, so let's jump right into the video, looking at how you go about, the thing that you need to look at before you purchase a generator. Now, the first thing on my list is budget. How much money do you have to spend on a generator? A generator can cost you a couple $100 US, as well as, there are others that can cost you thousands of US dollars. So you need to consider, first of all, how much money you have to spend. That is the first thing. Of course, the amount of money you have to spend will determine the type of generator you ultimately end up with, the quality, the features that you will get with that generator, and the extent to which it will be able to assist you in your particular household or business need. Yeah. No, the second thing you need to consider purchasing a generator is that there are different types of generators. So we have the standby generator. Just taking a sip of my tea. So we have standby generators and we have portable generators. Let me start by talking about the standby generators. Now, with the standby generators, these are huge units, very large, and normally these require, some form of housing. They are very huge. Typically require some form of housing. They may make a bit of noise, yes. You're going to find that they're going to be very expensive. So these are going to be costing like thousands of US dollars to acquire the unit, and you're going to need also them to be professionally installed. You also have to think about fuel, to run the generator. And they're standby generators because how they operate is that they integrate into the panel boxes, where all the electrical wiring for the building, terminate. How it will set up is that it will be set up in such a way so that when the electricity supply from the grid, as in our case Jamaica here, when it goes off, so we have a blackout, the standby generator automatically comes on. And similarly, when the electricity supply from the grid is restored, the generator will automatically switch off. That is how it is set up to work. Next, so that was the standby generator. Next, we have the portable generator. And for portable generators now, there are different types. So we have those that are combustion engine generators, and these are pretty much very popular. These are the traditional generators. And there is also the inverter generator. No, for the combustion engine generator, these are the traditional generators. They are very noisy. So that is an indication of, what this generator is. So very noisy. And guess what? As I mentioned, combustion engine. So guess what? there are emissions from the engine. And because of that, no, you should not have them within, too close to your building. So if you have them out, if you're using that at home, for instance, it should be on the outside, well, with a household or at a business place. So it should be a distance from the window, from a window or windows or doors, because of the possibility of carbon monoxide poisoning. And especially they should not be in an enclosed area because of what I just mentioned. So that is the combustion engine generator. So traditional, you find that they're going to be a little bit cheaper, somewhat cheaper, yes, than the inverter generators. You have to think here also in terms of the type of fuel you're going to be needing to get. Well, I don't want to jump the gun too much because I'm going to be looking at features that you need to look at with your generator. And then we have the inverter generator. The inverter generators are relatively new, so they're not really new in per se, but they're not really as popular then. And I'm speaking about here now in Jamaica, and not really as not really as popular as are the combustion engine generators. Now, for the inverter generators, these are far quieter. They it produces clean energy. So if you're looking to do things like to power your computers, your laptops, your smart television set, your entertainment system, which typically requires clean energy or some clean energy source, then the inverter generator may be, well, not maybe, but it's a better alternative than say a combustion engine generator. So yes, quieter. You're gonna find that yes, more environmentally friendly. But guess what? Also, you're gonna find that they're going to be that much more expensive. All right. So those are some things that you need to look at. So I've mentioned the budget. Look at the generator, standby, and then you have the portable generator. You have the inverter. You have the combustion engine generator. There are also generators. These are now on the inverter side that you can also power via solar energy. So that is something that you may want to consider going forward if you're thinking about the inverter generator. This is the most critical part of it now, and it is what generator do you need to purchase. And when I say what generator, no pun intended, it is in terms of the wattage. So how much the generators are rated in terms of wattage. So you may have, for instance, a 4,000, 5,000, 9,000, watt generator. How do you know which of these generators to purchase? Have you ever thought about that? Let us delve into it further. Now, to determine the capacity generator that you need to purchase in terms of the wattage, you need to do two things. So think now in terms of like a flow chart. So what are the essential items that you need to power within the home in the event of an outage? Do you want to power the entire house or building? If it is a business place you have, do you want to power everything within the business place or everything within the household? Or do you only want to not purchase, but power the essential items, perhaps like your refrigerator, the fan, air condition, and so forth, right? Everybody's needs will be different. Everybody, will have things that you consider to be priority. Okay? Everybody's needs will not necessarily be the same. So what are those essential items? No. After you've identified the essential items, and I would say list them, you're going to go through and you're going to write the wattage next to each item. So let us say that you say air conditioner. Yes, you're going to put the wattage, how much wattage the air conditioner needs to operate. For your refrigerator, the same thing, the heater, the electronic gate opener, all of these things, you list them. You put the wattage. But I'm not finished, because guess what? You also need to include the surge wattage. Now, the surge wattage is that startup watt. When you switch on, there are some equipment, when you switch them on, there is a huge demand of current that it needs to start up the device or the equipment. You need to include that. So things like your refrigerator, and so forth. So you need to you need to include the surge wattage. Now, after you've done and after you've gone, if you're listed the wattages, including the surge wattage or wattages for each essential item, you need to then add them up to get your total wattage. Now, having gotten the total wattage, this now will be your guide to purchasing that generator. No, and I'm not finished, because guess what? Let's just say that after you have gone through and you have added the wattage for all of the equipment, all of the devices in the premises, and for argument's sake, let's just say that you end up with 8,000 watts. My question to you now is, should you go out and purchase an 8,000 watt generator? Yes or no? You can go ahead and you can drop it in the comment section. All right, do you want me to tell you the answer? Well, the answer is no, absolutely not. You should not purchase a generator which is merely fulfilling your total full load capacity. The reason for that is that if you only get a generator, as in the case that I just mentioned, if you only get a generator that is able to power your assessed 8,000 wattage demand, then there's a possibility that you can have damage to your equipment, because sometimes you may have variations in the power supply, and that can cause, as I mentioned, damage to your equipment. There may also be potential damage to the generator itself. So you want to make sure, or you need to make sure, that the total capacity of the generator exceeds that of your total or your full load demand. So if your generator, if the full capacity, on full load, if the wattage in your household, what you need to power those essential items, if for example, it is 8,000 watts that you need to purchase a capacity generator which is above that. So you may think about something like a 10,000 watt generator. Now, in terms of features, you need to look at things like, so if it is a portable generator, you need to look at things like having the kit, perhaps getting a kit with the generator, and the kit may include things like a wheel cart, so you can easily move the generator from one location to another. Or perhaps you may have it in storage. You need to take it out of storage and have it perhaps in some open area, so you can use the unit without the wheel carriage. Then it's gonna be pretty heavy, especially if it is you are alone moving that generator or relocating the generator, and if it is pretty heavy. So consider that. You need to look also at the type of fuel the generator uses. So if it is gasoline, if it is propane, if it is diesel, if it is solar. You also need to consider maintenance. So this is crucial here. I mean, this is a piece of equipment. It has to be maintained. You have to think about it. You have to think about the warranty. You have to think in terms of who will service the unit, and the cost of servicing the unit. You also need to think about the fuel capacity, the capacity of the fuel tank. So you have to think about your budget here also. So it is not just purchasing the generator, but you also have to think about the maintenance. That is a part of the maintenance. How much will it cost you to fill the tank? You have to look at in terms also of the runtime. Will you be running the generator 24/7, or for how many hours for the day, and how much will it cost to fill the tank, and given the size of the tank and given the runtime, how many times will you need to refuel? These are things that you need to give consideration to. The noise level is also another thing, and typically the combustion engine generators, as I would have mentioned earlier, they're pretty noisy. So they generate somewhere in the region of about 60 to 80 decibels of noise. They can be quite noisy. And of course, you have to look at things like, the safety features. There are some that will come with some safety features to protect the equipment connected to it, and to also protect the generator itself. That's it from me. Please remember, if you haven't yet done so, like, share, subscribe. See you again in the next video. Take care.